Up next, we have an outlook from the Purchasing Department with Chief Procurement Officer Mary Delaney. Ms. Delaney, thank you for being with us tonight. The floor is yours.
Thank you, councilors. I appreciate the time that I'm given tonight to present to you and talk about the fact that as of next week, I will be here for 10 years. And I think this is the first time that I've been before the council to tell you anything about what we do, who we are. And so I do appreciate the time. I will be talking to the budget just a little bit tonight, but I'd rather save that to when the full budget comes out to all of you and address it then. I'm one of the rare department heads who doesn't get to interact with the council very often. So please bear with me as I try to pack in 10 years worth of news in 10 minutes. I've never had the opportunity to explain what I do, what my team does, how we interconnect with every department and the majority of administrative staff every day. I'm proud of the work we've done and the progress we've made, and I think it's important that you get to know us as more than just a line item on a budget and understand how we operate. Procurement is one of the most misunderstood functions in municipal government. There's a common perception that we exist primarily to slow things down, to create hurdles, and to add unnecessary complexity. And when I arrived in 2016, many of those perceptions were actually rooted in reality. At that time, the department operated under a largely transactional purchasing model. We had decentralized procedures, limited strategic coordination, and many outdated procedures. In fact, when I arrived, there was no such thing as centrally issued purchase orders, and the lead time for procurement to be issued was about 9 months. Knowing the department is meant to serve city departments, not impede them, I knew that we needed to be more of a strategic partner from the get-go. So it was my mission to provide responsive, timely, and compliant practices that supported operations and provided the goods, services, and contracts that the departments needed to deliver their services to the community. And that's our role. Our role is to be supporting so that the deliveries to the communities are on time and efficient and transparent and fair. Because of that, the department transitioned from transactional purchasing to strategic procurement. That's word salad. Focused on accountability, collaboration, efficiency, compliance, and value. And I'm proud to say there's literally now no wait time for procurements. We are on our game and on our toes. Key changes over 10 years have included, first and foremost, recognizing the department functions as a collaborative team, not having separate individual work streams. Implementing a formal purchase order system to improve accountability and financial management where there was none before. Aligning department spending to maximize savings opportunities. In other words, creating contracts that all departments could use across the board and not compartmentalizing contracts, which was the common practice at the time. We developed stronger, more enforceable, and strategically structured contracts. We standardized procurement practices across departments and strengthened the internal controls to improve compliance and transparency. Recognizing the significance of this transformation in the department, we officially changed our name from purchasing to procurement in 2021. While remaining consistent at 3 staff members since 1995, the staffing structure has evolved alongside the department's operational maturity without any additions. I'm fortunate to have 2 outstanding team members with me in the department. Beyond their knowledge of legal and procedural requirements, every day they arrive ready for the challenge, are willing to be flexible and spontaneous when necessary, and they always stop what they're doing to assist a colleague with a question or a problem. So while each position maintains specialized areas of focus, each team member participates collaboratively in the operation. In addition to procurement, contract development and contract administration are a big part of what we do. Public procurement requires not only obtaining competitive pricing, but also developing contracts that appropriately apportion risk, define performance expectations, protect the city's legal and financial interests, and ensure compliance with Mass General Law. As a result, we work closely with the city's legal team, and we maintain expertise in procurement law, developing contracting terms and conditions, prevailing wage, bid protests, and also deal with evolving regulatory guidance that's issued to us from the Inspector General's office and the Attorney General's office, which happens more than you would know. I'd like to note that the Inspector General of Massachusetts has recognized the Fitchburg procurement team as the highest standard in the Commonwealth for our operation and our compliance record. And that's a big deal to us. We're really proud of that. Because of this, I'm often asked to share our resources with other procurement operations in Massachusetts cities and towns. And I think that's something Fitchburg can be proud of. Strategically, we've added internal accountability tools to ensure that we remain balanced without causing any unnecessary delays. Our goal is to function more like a speed bump than a Jersey barrier. We don't want people going right ahead and doing everything without us knowing, but we also don't want to just stop them in their tracks and get in the way of things getting done. We want to focus on departments' goals, their operational challenges, their project motivations, and the risk that comes with procurement, rather than just asking them for specifications. What that means is that we need to sit down with them more often and talk about what they're looking for, rather than just saying, send me specs and I'll put this out to bid. Equally important, we like to prioritize with our staff and with our colleagues the why behind the procurement requirements. There are a lot of Mass General laws on procurement, and sometimes it seems like they're just there because they're there, and we try to explain why they're there. The department has adopted a continuous improvement mindset, consistently reviewing procurement frameworks to eliminate waste, improve efficiency, and refine the workflows whenever possible. Our key accomplishments are that we streamlined procurement procedures through updated policies and standardized bid documents. We improved workflow systems to accelerate the turnaround times. We strengthened contract oversight to ensure good performance, timely delivery, prevailing wage compliance, insurance compliance, and total adherence to the contract. Our department maintains full compliance with Massachusetts public procurement laws and public records laws. We work with Chapters 30B, 149, 3039M, Chapter 7 design, using federal and state law guiding us along the way. So technology. My colleague Trevor was just here talking about technology, and I want to touch upon that just a little bit. The modern marketplace requires us to adopt more intelligent procurement strategies that rely on technology, historical data, analytics, and contract management to improve the outcomes. Also, you see across the board that everyone's going to e-procurement modules. That means that you no longer have people coming and just dropping bids off on paper, which is also a process that's kind of riddled with addition errors, people forgetting to put forms in, things like that. So as part of that effort, we worked with the IT department, and we will be launching what's called Bid Docs Online in June as the city's new e-procurement platform. That is a one-time cost that the IT department took on for us. This platform is for construction projects, and will allow us to give contractors easier access to the project information, real-time bid updates and communication, improve transparency through the bidding process, and simplify the electronic bid submission and tracking. This means that they will be able to be at their computer, picture a contractor who's been working all day on a job and knows that he has to bid out the next job, and he can only do it at 8 o'clock at night. So he's going to sit at his computer at 8 o'clock at night, and there's no one at City Hall to help him. This portal will allow him to put in his bid at 8 o'clock at night. It'll tell them if they're missing information, if they're missing any insurance paperwork or bonds or any of those things, and allow them to put their procurement, their proposal into this platform. That's great for accountability, it's great for reducing paperwork, and it's also good for transparency because they will be able to see who the other plan holders are. And what happens when you do that? You increase competition, and that brings down prices. The benefits for the city are that we'll have streamlined bid distribution, and we'll have better document management. We'll have the electronic bidding to replace the paper-heavy processes. We'll have better certified payroll collection and more compliant. It'll be a centralized information source for contract managers, so whenever we have a bid out, whoever the department head is that's involved with that project can get real-time data at any time, 24/7 from the portal. And we'll have much faster response times for public records requests because the portal will provide us with the documentation. So while I'm speaking about technology, I would like to recognize the critical importance of the city's IT team, and I hope you'll indulge me for just a minute. The continued modernization of the procurement department is heavily dependent on a well-supported and adequately staffed IT department, capable of providing timely technical assistance, system integration, cybersecurity oversight, and ongoing operational support. This is critical not only to my team, but to city operations as a whole. As procurement becomes increasingly digital, contract management systems, electronic bidding, data analytics, financial software integration, strong collaboration with IT is essential to us to maintain efficient and compliant operations. The city's IT team has been an outstanding partner in helping the procurement department modernize our processes, improve workflows, and expand the use of technology-driven solutions while remaining mindful of cost and maximizing existing resources. They are truly lifesavers for all of us. Their responsiveness, technical expertise, and collaborative approach have allowed my department to implement meaningful operational improvements without imposing significant additional financial burden on the taxpayers. In a perfect world, IT could use more positions and more funding, but I understand it's not a perfect world. All I'm asking is that we approach budget discussions in the coming weeks looking at the critical importance of IT operations. I'll finish up with just some statistics for you. In fiscal year 2026, to date, we're not complete yet, my department has issued 117 procurements with associated contracts. We've processed 3,300 purchase orders totaling approximately $64 million. Each of those gets reviewed one at a time in our office. We've reviewed, redirected, or approved more than 2,000 online retail purchase requests. Those are requests that our staff have available to them from places like Amazon, WB Mason. They go through an approval process. We still review them, and sometimes we redirect them to a better price somewhere else, but we do have to look at all of those, and there's about 2,000 of them a year. And we reconciled and processed 450 procurement card transactions. That's our credit card. In fiscal year 26, we also did we looked at meeting departments where they are. What that means is we did a lot of one-on-one consultations with departments. We did coordination with key stakeholders for the more complex projects. We have a weekly scheduled meeting with the school business office. We have monthly scheduled meetings with Public Works, Recreation, Community Development, Police, and Fire departments. We offered 6 in-house procurement training sessions for city and school staff. We've gotten really great reviews back from our people, and not because we give them snacks, but you know, it really does make them more confident in their day-to-day interactions with Munis and with us. We have issued written guidance on financial software, emergency procurements, vendor management, and specialized purchasing scenarios. We've published our updated procurement manual, which is really great if you can't sleep and you want to read something long and boring, but it's a really great resource. And we've added a staff resource page to the city's website under the purchasing tab. I would encourage all of you, if you ever are more curious about my world, to look at that page. We have 24/7 access for all staff through the website, so they don't have to be on their work computer to look at it. This was also something that was identified by the Inspector General's office as a model, and I've shared that with a lot of other communities, and they're a little jealous. We worked really hard, again, with IT to develop that, and it's very robust. Every purchasing policy, every form, we have flow charts, and all of that are there. And then lastly, we have a Tuesday morning drop-in support session. Anytime anybody needs any help, they know on Tuesday morning we keep our calendar clean, and they can come in and they can talk to us and figure out how to get what they need. All procurement staff are certified Massachusetts certified public procurement officials, and we all maintain that through continuing ed, through the Office of the Inspector General. And I'll end up with looking ahead with fiscal year 2027 and beyond. We look to continue implementing intelligent procurement strategies using technology and data to make decisions, to refine our procurement process, and improve the operation overall. We want to continue to look at getting more vendors and contractors involved in our process. Again, the more competition, the better the pricing, the better the quality of what you get. We're especially looking for local businesses, so anyone out there who's listening tonight and has a local business, please take a look at our website. You can get in touch with us through there. And then we want to continue our leadership and our professional representation at the state level. Both the deputy and I have some things that we do on the statewide level that I think contributes to procurement as a whole for the Commonwealth, and I think our input is always welcome there, and we will continue to do that. I'm going to finish up with the budget. So as to this year's budget, the salary line items will contain only contractual changes, if there are any. There have been no additional positions requested for the department, nor do I see the need, especially with the condition of where we are right now. And then we have a couple of small expense items in our department. I don't have a big budget, and so they reflect the basic needs of the department, and I don't see any changes coming from there. And that is all I have, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Delaney, and congrats on 10 years with the city. We appreciate a decade of service. Thank you very much. Questions from committee members? Councilor Fleming.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. You said the only changes would be contractual obligations. What is the total of that?
So if anyone is due a step, then that's what they would be getting this year. There are no other, other requests for higher salaries.
Do you have what the number, the total is of those contractual obligations?
Let me check. So
you can just give me the total. You don't have to give me a breakdown.
I'll give you a ballpark because I don't.
Okay.
So it is probably around $5,500 between two positions. One position is not going up this year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Fleming. Any further questions? Seeing none, I'll just say I think procurement, I'm glad you got a chance to come and speak with us. You do not get to come before us very much. And procurement, for me, it seems like kind of almost like referees. You don't want to notice them unless they're due. It's really not a good thing. But you do a terrific job as a steady hand and a positive force in the city. So thank you very much for coming in, and thank you for everything.
Thank you so much.
Very well.